all your friends. Okay, can I have your attention? All right, I just want to thank all of you for coming this evening. I know you all worked hard this weekend. Some of us have been working for weeks on end to get to this point. We had a great race this year. I just want to welcome all you friends, the mushers. Another great year under our belts. What a great weekend. We had great weather, probably the best weather I've seen the CanAm have in many, many years. The crowd on Main Street was unbelievable this year. Huge crowd. Weather cooperated on that. We had an increase in the racers this year, the increased numbers. We also had many rookies this year. In the 30 and the 60, we had many, many rookies. So it kind of indicates that the mushing world is growing. There's a lot more excitement out there. So the future of the sport looks pretty good. And every racer that raced in the 30 and the 100, they're all coming back next year. They all had a great time. They all found the trail great. They all found all the volunteers to be so cooperative, organized, knowledgeable. So, I mean, you guys know how to put on a race is what I heard all weekend long. So I got to thank all the volunteers for that. Our signs were fantastic out there. Our hills were a little bit higher this year. Our valleys were a little bit lower this year. The snowmobilers were fewer and a little bit slower, and the dogs just seemed to be happier. It just doesn't get any better than that. One of our spectators that I talked to was from Texas, and she was up here for a week or so, but she wanted to see what a dog sled race was because she had never seen. And she was truly amazed at the coordination that Main Street had on Friday night, putting down snow and putting up barricades. Saturday morning, Main Street organizing dogs to leave that chute. Unbelievable emceeing by Alan Willett on the stage. Knew everything about every musher, knew everything about the race, knew all the sponsors. Unbelievable how informative that was for her. We had great traffic control by the police department and the fire department. The town is unbelievable. They laid down that snow Friday night and they picked it up just as quick Saturday. After visiting Portage, and she went to the both Allagash checkpoints, and she was at the finish, she finally decided to ask me. She said, how many volunteers are working to put on this unbelievable event? And I responded to her, all of them. We're all volunteers. Every one of you that is here has a specific job that you do. Others have many jobs. But this race couldn't be put on without all of you here. You're all of equal value, and I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. We can proudly boast about ourselves. It's not bragging when it's true. Truly, we are the greatest team of organized volunteers in any event in the Northeast, not just the sport of dog racing. We should be very proud of ourselves. Now in our 28th year, it seems that if you give someone a job, it gets done. It seems that everyone goes above and well beyond whatever large or small task they are asked to do or are given. And of course, we also have the best sled dog racers year after year that participate in our races. Speaking for the entire race organization, we appreciate all of you. All of you are considered family, returning year after year. We look forward to this time of year as a community, and we see you arrive in our little community Wednesday and Thursday, and it's our little town that CanAm. All of the volunteers and all the mushers, together we are all the CanAm, love and pride. We all love the community, we all love each other, we all love the racing, we all love our dogs, we all love our companions, and for that I just thank you, all of you. The meal line tonight, because I know everyone is hungry, Eric has decided he will volunteer to steer the tables individually so we don't have too long of a line waiting for food. So Eric, if you want to choose the order, he is going to be the guy to take the blame for where he's ever eating last tonight. Have your tickets in hand. Now before we start, my son Devin, everyone knows Devin, he told me, he says, Dad, he said, you should thank Monica and her crew prior to eating. He says if we give them a great big thank you now, then maybe they will give us larger servings. That's a great idea. But before we get up, I just want to do a little blessing before the meal, and I want everyone to bow your heads. Lord, thank you for providing us with all your blessings to run this great race year after year. Thank you for the food that we are about to share with all our new and old friends. Lord, thank you for the creation, the endurance, and grace of our canine companions. Lord, this year we have entrusted our friend Martin Massicott into your care at the Iditarod. We pray that you provide him with a safe, fast, and smooth trail. At the Iditarod, he will be the face of the CanAm, the representative of all of Eastern North American sled dog racing. Allow him to do us proud. Go, Martin, fast and smooth trails to you. Amen. Let's eat. Mention the quilters. The quilters are selling their beautiful quilt every year. You want to purchase tickets. Hopefully someone in our audience wins it this year, but it doesn't usually happen. It's usually someone from away. The chamber is selling souvenirs. So we want to clean out the souvenir table today so Donna doesn't have to haul any back this evening. That put a smile on her face. I want to thank Don Raymond. Don Raymond's the one that made the video presentation. So Don runs the local TV station. Don says you can go on Facebook, and I think it's WFKTV on the Facebook page. That's a local Fort Kent channel. So he's got a lot of that footage on the local television station, along with a lot of history of the town of Fort Kent. He had Don filmed Main Street Star both on Saturday. On Saturday, all 3 races. He had over 30,000 views on the Facebook page So there's people throughout the United States and throughout the world that are watching, and our little TV station to have 30,000 views is really good. Last week, I don't know if any of you had seen, but on the Weather Channel also talked about the CanAm, and they interviewed Ashley Simpson, and they also interviewed Andy Marquis. Huh? Oh, Ashley Patterson. Sorry, Ashley. Sorry, Mark. Ashley Patterson and Andrew Marquis, they did both a fabulous job, and the Weather Channel is seen throughout the nation and all over the world, so great job, Andy. I want to thank Monica again for the food. Monica, great job, as always. Sarah Brooks, you want to do your presentation right now? For those of you who don't know Sarah, she's the Portage checkpoint coordinator. She's the CanAm vice president. She's been with us many years. And she's putting on her jacket because she's very cold. And you come this way, Sarah. We're in this direction. Sarah has, she tells me, 85 volunteers at her Portage checkpoint. It's a huge undertaking. And she does a fantastic job. Mushers had no complaints this year at all about that checkpoint.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to congratulate all of the winners. You guys did a fantastic job. Super proud of our rookies this year. And for those of you who don't know who the rookies were, I'd like the four of you to stand up. We have Kristen. We have the two Kevin. And we have Florence. If you're not aware, Florence is 14 years old. Tristan is 17 years old. That Kevin is from originally Belgium, and he is now from Ontario. And we have the other Kevin, who is from Iowa. So congratulations to all of you guys for having finished. And congratulations to the rest of the winners. First of all, I want to thank all of you folks as volunteers. Volunteering and being part of the race is something that's very, very special. What we have is, I'm up here tonight because for so many of us here, one person that passed away this past year was such a very, very big part of the CanAm, Gino Roussel. And he was a good friend to a lot of you. He was such a great competitor. He was also such a good volunteer at Portage. Yes, I'm a little warm right now, but this was Gino's vest. And if you were at the Portage checkpoint, you knew that this was Gino that was around. What I'm here for tonight is to award a very, very special award that's called the Spirit of the CanAm Award, the Good Samaritan Award. And throughout the different races, people are nominated for this award. And basically the award goes by somebody who goes over and above what is expected or what is thought of for, for being part of the CanAm. We had a lot of nominees, and I would like to recognize some of them, although the final decision is not who I'm going to be mentioning right now. Luc Goudreau was nominated for all of the work that he's done, the help and the advice he gives in nutrition and in mushing experience. Now, I should have said something beforehand. Up here to my left is Gino's sister. Her name is Lise Roussel. Sitting over there is Gino's wife, Fran. And Gino's other sister, Josie. Thank you for being a part of this, and Gino is definitely a part of the CanAm forever. And my apologies for not having done that before. Summarize what I said.
Elle parle pour une 45 minutes, puis après ça, ben tout ça dans 5. OK. On veut tout le temps remercier les bénévoles. Ça, c'est certain. Sans les bénévoles, c'est à réussite. Elle n'est pas ici. Ça prend les bénévoles pour faire ça. Les 4 qui ont été les nouveaux, les rookies, là, il y en a 2 des autres, là. Parle pour que vous autres comprenez tout. Vous êtes le futur du CanAm. Sans vous autres, on ne sera pas là. Ça prend vous autres. All right? Et à part de ça, on a la sœur, les 2 sœurs à Gino ici, la femme à Gino, Fran. Et puis là, Sarah va mentionner les Good Samaritan ou Spirit du CanAm. C'est un prix présenté pour pour avoir été bon garçon, bonne femme pendant la préparation de la race.
Again, Luc Goudreau was mentioned. Remy Leduc was mentioned for all of the help that he has given to the mushers along the way. And some of the comments that were made about these 2 individuals were pretty darn nice. A lot was appreciated with Remy for the help that he gave to some of the mushers along the way. But I've got a funny feeling that what Remy really wanted was the red lantern.
Sarah calcule que Remy voulait avoir la lanterne rouge. C'est pour ça que, disons, il a pris son temps. Mais il a été utile, il a donné beaucoup d'aide aux autres marcheurs au besoin.
The award that's being given this year is a beautiful carving that was done by a native from Upper Ontario. And Gino had 3 of these especially made, and they're absolutely beautiful. This year's recipient is a person who kind of, maybe just a little bit, has gone over and above what is expected for a volunteer from CanAm. This individual has spent so much of his time volunteering for the CanAm. This individual drives 300 miles one way every single weekend from October up until now. He comes up and he and his crew work tirelessly at clearing brush. They work tirelessly at making the trails good when they're accessible by 4-wheelers. Then, once the grooming starts, he's out there endlessly. He is so special in that he thinks of the safety of everybody. He thinks of the safety of the dogs, the mushers, the volunteers, and his crew. He doesn't allow anybody to go out by themselves. They all go out in groups. He marks the trails, and on Friday, he had his crew out, and those of you who ran the 250 from mile 26 all the way to Camp Silver, that's over 125 miles. This man is responsible for those trails. I'm not going to mention his name yet.
Le gars en question, il fait 6 heures de route juste pour venir de sa maison, où il travaille, où il vit, monter ici à tous les fins de semaine pour faire l'ouvrage que ça prend, trimer les trails, enlever les blow-downs l'automne. Après ça, pacter la neige tout l'hiver. Bien, tous les fins de semaine, faire cette route-là, 6 heures pour monter, 6 heures pour s'en aller back chez eux. Et son exigence est que son crew soit safe en tout temps en sécurité. Jamais quelqu'un a l'affaire à aller seul dans le bois, il y a tout le temps quelqu'un d'autre avec lui, même si c'est le boss lui-même qu'il faut qu'il aille. Et puis, il fait tout ça pour que la sécurité des mushers, des chiens, des bénévoles et tout participant, toute sécurité est prise pour faire certain que personne ne se fasse faire mal.
I would like to just read the first sentence of the one of the several nominations that were submitted. To whom it may concern, I would like to nominate my father, Steve Hodgkins, for the Spirit of the CanAm Award, for his dedication and countless hours to the event. Steve has been doing this for over 15 years, folks. Over 15 years. He lives down on the coast in Hartswell, Maine. Steve, could you kindly come up, please?
Couldn't have done it without you guys.
You'd like to get rid of it, wouldn't it?
Thank you, Dennis.
You gotta talk now.
Wow. I'm not a public speaker, but I couldn't have done this without Sarah and
You gotta
Guy
talk into the mic.
and Jimmy, Wayne, George, my whole crew. You know, I started out a long time ago and was trained well, and I just love what I do. I love the mushers, the dogs. I come from a big dog family, and just thank you very much. This means a lot to me.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, that was mine.
I was talking to Steve before we ate supper, and he was trying to calculate how many hours he spends out there and how much time and effort and expense that he goes through, because he takes weeks and weeks off just to drive north to come to the CanAm. And he even bought a house, he was telling me, to live up here in the winter months so he could help with CanAm. So, unbelievable, Steve. Thank you. I just want to thank all the sponsors and all the veterinarians. We had an outstanding crew of veterinarians this year. For quite a few years, my wife used to make party mix, and then she skipped many years without making party mix. This year, her and Lynn Sear and Kelly Michaud and their students at the Fort Canal Elementary School made party mix for all the mushers, all the vets, and all the search and rescue people. So we want to thank Lynn for I want to thank Alan Willett, a big thank you to Alan Willett. He's the face of the Can-Am. You see him on Main Street, he's very thorough. Alan's father passed away recently, and we're very sorry to hear that. Alan's father was one of the originators of sled dog racing in northern Maine. When they had a race in Baker Lake many, many years ago, probably the late 80s, I would say, he was instrumental in having that first sled dog race, along with Paul Boudreau. So, Alan, I know this year was tough on you, but you pulled it through, man, and unbelievable how well prepared you were this year, and it was such a great morning. Quickly, just want to thank the Irving Woodlands Company again, our major sponsor. Unbelievable, all the paper companies, and including Irving. We run mostly on Irving property, and they reroute their woods operations in the winter months just so the Can-Am can run through their property without them interfering with our race course. So that's unbelievable for that company to put up with Can-Am year after year and sponsor us as a major sponsor. We're also sponsored by the Willard-Jalbert family, who also, Willard-Jalbert was one of the first dog mushers in Fort Kent back in the day. He was a custom officer, and he'd always go beaver trapping and stuff using a dog team. And we'd like to thank the Pepsi Bottling Company and Crossings Bar and Grill, formerly the BJ's, is now Crossings. They stepped up this year and they're a sponsor also. I'd like to thank Tony Terrio for the highway crew. They laid down the snow and they picked it up. Unbelievable job. They went out of their way to make a ramp into town for the snowmobilers this year, and when I went to look at it earlier in the year, I said, it's not going to work for dog teams. So talking with Susie and Tony, they said, we're going to make you a whole ramp just for the Can-Am. We talked to Dead River. They allowed us to go down into their parking lot. So the town really pulled together to have that ramp up onto the dike this year. I thank you for that. We want to thank the snow riders. They groomed the trail. I know Denny, when he came in, was running on a brand new groomed snowmobile trail. So snow riders stepped up this year also. Carterbrook Snowmobile Club also for letting us use their facility. The Maine Warden Service was out there again this year, Tom Ward, and the Commissioner for Maine Fish and Wildlife was actually up this year and had a ball. You probably saw them around the Star, but the wardens were out there all weekend long for safety reasons. Thank you, Jim. When the Can-Am first started, Jim Fahey and Jim Dumas were the two warden service that would do the Portage section, and they worked hard. Their fuel was oftentimes contributed to them doing work for the warden service, but they were doing work for the Can-Am. Maine Tourism had Hannah Collins up here this year. She had a ball. She was involved with all the racing. She just wanted to be hands-on. She had a real good time at the sponsorship banquet, so I know Hannah and the Maine Tourism Office will be hearing from us because I think the state of Maine has to step up. This is probably one of Maine's largest tourist and events in the state of Maine, and we need to have the state come on board and at least with advertising and website. At this time, I'd like to introduce Faith Weed to come up. Faith is a veterinarian, or an assistant, or a part of our veterinarian crew, and she's got a special award that she's going to be giving out. Thank you, Faith.
I'm here tonight on behalf of High's Adventure Parkas and Gear to present the certificate of a Willow Tops Parka to the winner of the 250. full zip, pull over whatever you want, and they will cuff you. Yeah. You're welcome. That is mine. Unless you like the pink.
Thank you.
Yeah. No.
The value of that jacket is $400. What Faith was just explaining to Denis is what he's going to do is contact them and they will custom make a jacket to his size, to his specs. Anything he wants, they will be making the jacket to his specs. So that's an unbelievable award. Next year, I hope he's going to have that on for us during the CanAm. All right, at this time, I'm going to invite John Kaleta and Christine Richardson to come up. They were our race marshals this year. They split the responsibility between them. John did the first couple checkpoints and Christine the last two. And I'm going to let them continue with the program now, so you guys are not bored to death listening to me.
Thanks, Dennis.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll invite Ken. Can't see her.
It's Irving.
All right, I'd like to thank the CanAm Board of Directors for giving Christine and myself the opportunity to serve as the co-race marshals for the 2020 CanAm 250. Certainly an honor and a pleasure to see all these incredible teams compete in world-class events so close up. It's just, hello. Yep. Hello, there we go. But it's just, as you guys can see,
Try the button, John.
are we good? Hello. I think we're good. Good. Thank you, Dennis. Okay, I had even more fun than I did last year as I was able to share this experience with a fellow musher that we have known for years and I have so much respect for, Christine Richardson. She really put a jolt of fresh energy into the second half of the race and helped to keep almost the entire lineup into the race. So together this year, the mushers, we had 10 out of 13 people finish the race, which is a fantastic percentage. As race marshal, one gets to take the complete picture of the CanAm from the start to finish. And, Christine and I really enjoy seeing, once again, these teams like you're seeing right here, but you get to see them not just at the start like most people do, but all the way throughout the checkpoints. You get to see the strategy the mushers are using, how much time and care they put into getting their dogs across the finish line. It's really, truly a labor of love. And at this time, folks, I'd really like to thank the real heroes of this race. The real hero. I'd like to thank the real heroes of this race, all the dogs that make it. I mean, look at these guys right here. I think the dogs just really embody and have made this race so popular over all these years. They have characteristics that, we wish we had. They have, loyalty, unconditional love that they give their owners. And just as we give the love back to them, they will run their hearts out and actually pull for 250 miles. So let's give it up for the dogs, huh? Okay, I want to thank the teams and drivers for coming from near and far, supporting our event. It's for you that the communities of Allagash, Fort Kent, Portage, and beyond perform this labor of love for you guys. Without you and your wonderful dogs, we would not have an event. It's just incredible all the way through the race. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience, and then Christine's going to talk a little bit about hers, and we'll get into the award. So I was able to be at the start all the way through Rocky Brook, which is the second checkpoint. The start was, I think, one of the best starts we've ever had. Just banner day, blue bird out there. you couldn't have asked for a better day. Great fans were everywhere. And Lance did an incredible job with his crew. I think it was the best, there was not a hitch. There was not a hitch at all, okay, in the way the start went. He had an incredible board that was set up so we could see where every team was and we could get them out on time. Also, I mean, just setting up from Friday night, the Main Street start people, incredible. So to see that all come together, to me, is just like a work of art. Nice job, everybody. All the start people. And all the trail crew as well. Now going down to Portage, huge crew, and I can't thank Sarah Brooks enough for the job she does there. Over 60 volunteers rodeo together. Thank you. In this year's race, we had a rookie come in. Aaron came in first, and then some other teams came in. I think Denny and Andre came in right after them. And then, this is where the beautiful thing began, because some people that, like Ashley was a little further back. She kind of took off a little earlier than she did. Then she came in, really started making the race become really interesting. Going to Rocky Brook. Bob Ouellette's crew did a phenomenal job. Thank you, Bob. Very, very well done. And all the safety people in between. There was a team that was extricated from the race that our safety crew brought out safely and did a wonderful job. Okay, and then once again, at this point, you really started to see Denny kind of and Andre take off with Kat right behind him. Really some, good, really an exciting race up to my point where I saw, and I was, very, wide-eyed, really watching everything they did, and but they did it so effortlessly, and with it looked like they're all having fun. The camaraderie between them was phenomenal. Christine, would you like to talk a little bit about your checkpoints?
Sure. I can always talk. You all know that. So, he's very organized. I'm going to wing it.
Better job.
No, I won't do a better job. I'll try not to move so you can hear me. I was really honored to be asked to join John as race marshal. I'm going to channel my inner Ashley and just be loud and let everybody hear me. There you go. I was really honored because it shows a lot of trust in me, and I've done a lot of mushing here, but this is kind of the next step up. Can you all hear me? Okay. I honestly probably wouldn't have agreed to do it if it wasn't to share the position with John, because he's such a fantastic person. He's fair, he's honest, and he loves this sport, and he loves this race. So together I thought we made a fantastic team. Although as I was driving in to Silver, Sean Lizotte, who is from Irving, who was gracious enough to drive me in on 5:45 Sunday morning, he's like, "You want to stop at Rocky Brook?" I'm like, "Nope. Bye, John, you got it." We went right to Silver. And we can talk a lot about the mushers. You're going to hear a lot from the mushers and about their dogs and their love for their dogs. I do want to acknowledge Florence and Tristan as teenagers doing this. I don't know if you understand. This is a tough race for any rookie, but for a teenager, think about when you were a teenager, first of all, what did you have the guts to do? And then what did your parents let you do? So I also have to say kudos to the Shaws for really supporting your daughter, and kudos to the Longchamps for supporting your son and giving them the opportunity to really excel and not being afraid to let them do it, because they were both fantastic. Just fantastic. And so you're going to hear a lot about this. What I want to tell you about is, Sean Lizotte from Irving drove me in the morning, and he told me all about the history of the logging, the lynx programs, because they were on endangered species list, about the moose situation and how the moose are dealing with, the winter, and it was so just enriching for me. And, we're driving in and the sun's rising, and I'm sure you're all very familiar with this landscape. For me, I grew up in Maine, I went to school in Orono, but I live in New Hampshire now, and I come up and I'm like, this is gorgeous, and you live in a beautiful place, and thank you for sharing and giving us an opportunity to come here and race, and for me, now to help marshal this, and I thank Julie Albert for giving me a new nickname, Marshall. I'm going to get a cowboy hat now, but it's just the people. There was a game warden, and we were in his territory, and he made it a point to come and spend his day at the Silver Checkpoint, not to direct us, but to ask questions and to get to know. And he wanted to know all about the mushing and the dogs and the whole thing. And snowmobiles came in and on the dog trail, and there's a big deal. And he's like, "What do you want me to do, Marshall?" I'm like, "I don't know. You're the game warden. You get rid of them." No. But he did a great job, just helping maintain the integrity of the trail, being a gracious person, getting the snowmobilers off on their way without interrupting the race anymore. So the community, not just in town, this is amazing, but the whole wilderness community as well has really been fantastic. And I just really enjoyed being sort of entrenched in what you guys see every day up here. And you really have a blessed place to live, and I appreciated being able to be a part of it. I wanted to say that everyone this year, all of the mushers, even the few who scratched, really gave it. This was a hard go, as my Canadian friends would say. The trail we had a lot of cold snow, which doesn't pack down real well in spite of that serious work. We had good trails, but it also is kind of like running in sand. And the dogs probably deal with it better than the mushers do. And it's a mental perseverance. And every single rookie finished this race, and I want to, as a rookie, I remember doing this race, and I don't know if all of you remember Mike Gilles, but I'm going to give him some kudos for saying, you just need to finish your first 250. If you don't finish it, it's going to be mentally so much harder. And so I kind of made it a little bit of a mission to make sure that I encourage the rookies as much as possible, but I didn't do it, they did it. So I want you to all give a round of applause to the rookies for finishing this race. Really not the easiest trail. It took a lot of mental perseverance, and I'm really proud of you all. So on that note, we're going to let the mushers do some talking and pass out some checks.
All right, this is why we're all here tonight. So we had three, as Christine said, we had three mushers scratch, and they all gave it all they had. We had Guillaume Lizot, who scratched between Portage and Rocky Brook. We had Aaron Altimus from Minnesota, who scratched at Camp Silver, and she led the first leg of this race. And then we had Amy Dion from Madawaska scratch at Allagash, and she actually went out twice trying to get out there, and her dogs just didn't have it. So she really gave it a great try. We're really proud of all three of them, and thank them all for coming. I wish they were here with us tonight. So starting at the number 10. Don't step on the... Can you put these in order?
Sir.
Last. Okay, so in last place,
Can't move.
which is 10th, do not move. Okay,
Don't move.
good. So in last place, which is 10th place, this thing hates me, I swear to God. It's gonna kill me. We have a person that ran his team.
Gotta yell.
The cord is cut, though.
My nemesis, cut the cord. Huh? Okay. So we have... I didn't know you could start it. We have Ken Sear up here from Irving, Woodlands to help us pass out the awards.
I don't think I'm going to use one. I don't have a very loud voice. choice, but I don't know if anybody else wants a recliner right now after eating that meal. I do. You know, I want to pose a question to the mushers. You don't need to answer because I'll answer it. You know, why do you see the amount of volunteers show up year after year? Well, it's easy. It's the level of commitment and dedication you guys have to the sport. You guys show up every year and work every day of the year towards the sport, right? So you go home right after the race and you're preparing for the next race. And that dedication is why everybody is here. And on Saturday, for us, for Irving, we get excited because we know that our boss, Mr. Irving, is going to show up. And really, we are proud to be working for Irving because of the commitment he has to the local community, right? And when he shows up, and it's usually right on time for the 250, you can see the excitement he has for this sport. He's very happy to be here supporting the Can-Am. So with that said, I thank you all for showing up, including the volunteers, because without everybody here in this room, it would not happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
That should work now. It'll work good.
All right, thank you, Ken. A little leery, I don't know. So, once again, in 10th place, our Red Lantern Award is Remy Leduc. Remy ran a team of rookie dogs this year himself, all the pups, so that they can have a big team. He and Kat can have a big team next year going to the Yukon Quest. Come on up, Rem. We've got check for total $1,100. $400 a finishing touch, and the purse for 10th place is $700.
That's one I got was 2014. I couldn't wait to get another one. Yeah, it was a very nice race this year. It was a special one. Was supposed to run this race with Gino Sled, just in memory of him, and make the sled go through the course one last time. Didn't happen. It broke. I wanted to give it a try before bringing it on the trail. Good thing I gave it a try. And yeah, it was just too many snags, and a full runner broke, and he had made it on its own, so it was kind of hard to figure out where we got the parts for it and everything. Well, I'm gonna work on it, and maybe next year I'll bring it on the trail. Yeah, so that was that. Well, I wanted to say many things because there was so many things happening in my head anyway for this year. It was special. I want to congratulate Tristan and Florence for their finish. That's an amazing accomplishment they did. I was supposed to kind of travel a bit with Florence, but she was way too fast. She was doing good on her own anyway. And I want to thank Jan for letting me run two of his yearling with my own. So that helped a lot, because without those dogs, I would have run out of dog. I was right on the edge there, finished with 6 dogs, 6 really well pulling dogs. I was very happy when one of Jan's dog was in there, and yeah, so that was a tough race. Running with young dogs, it takes a long time. Does it show I didn't sleep yet? I'm tired, sorry. And yeah, and I happened to have the longest run of my life between Maybec and Allagash. Thank you. Going out of Maybec, I knew that Dennis had went out of Allagash, and Catherine was about 12 minutes behind. And I knew I had to get out into the trail, and I wouldn't know who won the race until I got to Allagash. So the time was very long. And I thought the time was long until one of the dogs started limping and I had to bag him. Then I realized, oh no, now the time is long for real. I had to go for 20 miles with the dog in the bag. So I work hard, and just to find out that my wife ran 30-some seconds short on Dennis. but still, I was so proud of what she did. Very proud of my wife. Very proud of the dog she ran. Obviously, they are my dog too, so I take a bit of credit for it. I'm very proud. And yeah, that's it. I'll be back next year, maybe just Sunday for Catherine. I'll try to do my best to make a team that can make us more successful next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Remy. In ninth place, okay, with the finishing touch prize of $400, the purse of $800, a total of $1,200 is Gilles Harnois. Gilles previously won the 5 previous Red Lantern Awards, so I think I think he wanted to get it again this year, but he seems to be very happy to have 9th place. Congratulations, Jeff.
Last year I was very disappointed because nobody spoke about my record of us for Red Lantern Awards. And this year, I think Remy is about a little bit jealous. He tried to set that. He finished last night before, just beside me. But if you want to be the last again, you have to try the race with children skis, because if you think the race is hard, try that with children skis. If they decide to run 5 miles an hour, don't try to go at 6 miles an hour. And but it was funny because my goal usually is not the same than the other racer. It's not to finish the first. It's don't try to be the last. Okay.
I was at the finish line when Gilles came in. A beautiful finish, the best looking team you ever saw, beautiful. And he knew he hadn't won the Red Lantern this year, and he says, you know, I go into Martin's house and I look at all the walls and shelves and they're full of all these beautiful CanAm trophies. He says, you come into my house and it's full of just Red Lanterns.
All right, in 8th place, getting a finishing touch of $400 and a purse of $900. This individual hails from Iowa, and I asked him, I said, Kevin, I've never met a musher from Iowa. He says, well, I'm the only one. So Kevin Mathis, 8th place. His former life, Kevin was a rodeo star. Okay, he used to ride the bulls.
Yeah. So this is my first time here, and I'm hoping it's not. I know it's not going to be my last. So I enjoyed the race. This year, so it was the first year here as a rookie running this race, and actually I've just moved up recently, mostly this year, one long race last year from mid-distance to long distance. Very challenging. I tried to call a few people that I knew that had been out here before to try and get a little insight on what the race is like. Quite a few challenges that I overcame. The unassisted checkpoints was new to me. All of the checkpoints is being unassisted. So that planning was something to overcome. My dogs, I was very happy. I had finished with 10 dogs, strong and healthy, all pulling good. So that was huge to me to have that team. A lot of my dogs, they have big hearts, very big hearts. So I just want to thank everybody that helped put this on, everybody, the volunteers, the veterinarian crew, and all the checkpoint personnel. It was just a great race, all in all. Appreciate everything everybody's done for it. Thank you.
Kevin is one of 4 rookies to finish this year. In 7th place, hailing from Ontario, is Kevin Vandenbussche. Kevin has a finishing touch of $400, a purse of $1,000, and a total of $1,400. Congratulations, 7th place, Kevin Vandenbussche.
Thank you. I don't really know which story to tell. I just had this fall for me was one of the craziest falls I've ever had in probably my whole mushing life. And I only have 12 dogs in my kennel, which this race you need 12 dogs for, so that's problem number 1. So I didn't think I was going to make it to any race pretty much this season, because just stuff just didn't play out the way it should have playing out, and I was able to make it to UP 200. I was able to bring those same dogs to this race, so for me that was my main accomplishment for this year. And then when I thought I had seen it all, and suddenly all my females on my team decided that CanAm would be a good time to all go into heat. So we were trying to figure out how are we going to do this now. And when I'm talking heat, I'm not just saying like they're kind of coming in, they're like in, like ready to go. They're like, well, my team, like the first 2 checkpoints, and I'm sure that not everybody appreciated that as much as I did. They were just standing there barking and yanking on their necklines, and my friend and handler Seb goes like, well, Kevin, I think you can stay, but I'm not going to rest. And they're literally like, they're yanking on their necklines, which is kind of odd for them to do that. And then my females in the front, they're humping each other, my male were humping each other. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're just like showing up here and hoping we can finish this thing, because I mean, if you're spending all that energy on humping each other, it's not going to be much juice left to run a dog race. And then my biggest dog, and also a new leader for this year, he's my main stud on my team too. He's the main stud with the women, yeah. He knows how to get it done. He was so his girlfriend that he has, Brett, in the past, she's my main leader, and then he is also a leader. Not a leader, she called it a day at one of the checkpoints, and she took a break. So now I have my main stud and his girlfriend that have to finish this race. So guess what happens every time we stop? Yeah, it wasn't, I was surprised the guy could focus when he was running. But yeah, he brought us to the finish line, and he actually did a pretty impressive job. And when we got here, he thought, okay, let's get ready for it again. We almost had our next team for 2 years. He was able to hold himself back. So, needless to say, it was a very interesting race, and the race was honestly like, I told it to one of the organizers, you guys put on like one of the rawest and most purest races that I've been part of, and I would suggest don't change anything. It's as raw and as real as it comes, and that's what I love about it. And I'll be back next year, and I'll make sure those females all stay.
Kevin is a rookie here this year. Certainly did not race like one. Yeah, boy, that reminds you, there are a lot of Can-Am puppies out there, that's for sure. Yeah. That's what keeps it, perpetuating, right? So in 6th place, we have another rookie here that won some money and some stage prizes. First leg, she finished 5th. The second leg, she finished 4th place. And in the 4th leg, she finished 3rd place. fantastic for a 14-year-old. Her finishing touch prize of $400 and $1,250 purse for 6th place, a total of $2,100 American dollars for Florence Shaw.
Je voulais juste remercier tous les bénévoles, mes parents, tous nos amis, puis un gros merci à Remy aussi. Merci beaucoup.
I couldn't be more impressed being 14 years old and making it around this course. I dragged myself around there twice, and for her to, at that age, to have that kind of courage is phenomenal. Our 5th place is our 4th rookie. Got some stage prizes. The first leg, 4th place. Second leg, 5th place. Third leg, 5th place. Fourth leg, 5th place. And 5th leg, 4th place. And this individual gets $400 for the finishing touch, a purse of $1,600 for 5th place, and a total of $2,600 for
I will talk in French because I'm not very good in English. Thank you, Greta, and thanks to my parents. Merci à mes parents, ma mère, mon père. On a travaillé fort pour mettre 2 équipes dans le top 5. Puis c'est ça. Merci aux bénévoles. La trail était belle, puis on se voit l'an prochain. Salut!
Our 4th place individual that is no stranger to the CanAm, Ashley Peterson from Shirley, Maine. She has the stage prize for the 3rd leg, 4th place, 4th leg, 4th place, and the 5th leg, 3rd place. Finishing touch of $400, a purse of $2,000, and a total of $2,900. Come on up, Ashley Peterson.
I got another hat. Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, I got to get out the jitters a little bit. I'm not really a nervous person until I have to look at you guys and try to be professional. All right, let's do this. I'd like to thank our sponsors, and a big thanks to my husband for working with me in training. We appreciate all the volunteers that help make this race safe and fun for sure. I often wonder why this is my favorite race. This is the race I grew up with. You are all like family to me. I definitely look forward to running this team. Oh, I'm sorry, back up a little bit. I'm definitely looking forward to running the team Mark had this year. All right, now I'll get back to my heart. From Allagash to the finish line, if you could have seen that sun through the trees were sparkling with snow dust, or it was amazing. It was something that you couldn't share, except for somebody that's also another musher. Kat, it's a experience that when you can talk to somebody and say, "Did you see that?" And she's going, "I did. Did you see?" It brings tears to your eyes. Not I'm not a teary type of person, but geez, that was something to pass on. That the dogs look at you like, "Wow, this is beautiful. Can we do this again?" And you're going, "Oh, geez, are you sure?" Because there are moments where you're going, "What the heck am I doing out here? Are you sure this is fun?" and then you finish. And that is one thing, Tristan and Flo, you are incredible for your age, but your heart grows bigger when you finish. When you finish this race, you're one tough person.
Thanks for coming back again, actually. Hope to see you again next year.
Oh, you bet.
Right. Third place. From Quebec, we have Mr. Andre Longchamps, who had the stage prizes of, in the first leg, second leg, third, the third leg, third, and the fifth leg, fifth. Andre also gets a finishing touch of $400 and a purse of $2,500 with a grand total of $3,650. Andre Longchamps.
Puis on va y aller directement en français. Ben, merci au CanAm encore une fois. Vous avez bien réussi, comme à tous les ans. Les trails, c'était super. En revenant, j'étais même plus sûr si j'étais dans le bon trail. C'était dur, là, c'était beau, c'était incroyable. Ils nous ont confirmé que c'était en même, on devait être fatigué. C'était fantastique. Puis merci à tous les bénévoles d'un checkpoint. Puis Greta encore une fois. De nous accueillir, je pense 15-16 ans qu'on va coucher à la même place. Ça commence à faire longtemps. On se connaît. Puis on a réussi. L'année prochaine.
Our second place individual comes from New Brunswick. She's improving every year. And this year, I mean, you couldn't get much closer to winning a race. 35 seconds. I mean, really incredible. This is Catherine Longley, once again from New Brunswick. First leg, first place. Second leg, second place. Third leg, second place. Fourth leg, first place. Fifth leg, first place. How did she win? I don't know. Okay, but she also gets a finishing touch of $400, $3,500 purse for second place, and a total of $5,300. Congratulations.
Seconds. I'm gonna hear that all my life. I was coming back from Allagash and I was listening to the radio, and they had said that Denis Tremblay was the winner, and that it was a historical finish because Catherine Longley came in 35 seconds after. And I was like, oh, close the radio. Don't want to hear that again. But I have to thank my dogs, first and foremost, because they're nothing, I repeat this all the time, but they're nothing short of amazing. I never asked them anything except when I arrived at the safety station and I knew that Denis was 5 minutes ahead of me. I called them up right until we finished, but they're always giving me exactly what I need, and they just know what to do, and we're very, very close, and that's it. I couldn't do this without them, and I couldn't do this without me. So thank you.
Our first place, our winner of the CanAm 250, Mr. Denis Tremblay. I've known for probably about 20 years. The first time I met Dennis, we both were doing the 30. And Now here I am running up a hill with my tennis shoes on, like I usually do, and Denny passes me. Denny's a big dude, you know? He passes me sticks on the runners with these 6 dogs that seem to be just, the legs are going like this, just blown right by me. I think, Denny, did you win that year? Yes. So, I mean, that's the first time we met. And it's so nice to see Denny win the CanAm 250 here a little over 20 years later. So anyway, Denny, first leg stage prize, he was third. Second leg, he was first. Third leg, he was first. Fourth leg, second. Fifth leg, second. Finishing touch prize of $400, $4,500 purse for first place, and a grand total of $6,200. Not bad for a weekend of work.
Okay. Hello, everybody. This year I win the 250 after 1997 is the 23 years this year, and I try the last 13 years. And for this year I talk in English. I try for talking English because I win the race. But I'm sure many people remember me 23 years ago, huh, John? And I said my name in English, Denis Tremblay, and yes, no, and toaster. And right now I'm better, you know, and I don't understand everything, but it's possible for me talking English for all my big family in the Maine, because I'm sure for you is important. I talk in English. I'm sure you it's important for me. I talk in English for sure. Everybody understand my talk tonight. You know. Thank you, Julie. She support me and she follow me in my dream. You know, in the last 13, 14 years. A hard season this year because I train my team for the Yukon Quest, and I go to Yukon Quest. I leave home January 6th, and the last problem in the road. Maybe the best idea I change the truck before to leave home, but I scratch the Yukon Quest to Circle City, and I come back fast to Marquette, Michigan for a race for prepare my team for win the CanAm 250. I come back here again. I'm so happy to win. Very tough race this year because Kat follow me, and Andre is close to me, to Maybach, and 20 minutes back to me, and Kat, she supposed leave before me, and she wait. And she lost the race because she wait. I said, no, you leave before me, 2 minutes before me, Kat. No, I wait 10 minutes. 10 minutes. The dogs need 10 minutes? No. She lost the race because she stay and she wait. I don't understand because she wait. Maybe next year she don't wait. But thank you all the sponsors for the race. You know, Irving again, many years. A lot's been involved, and the trail breaker this year made a super amazing job. Thank you my sponsor, GIQ Auction, MAF La Jeunesse Dog Food, Cibo Plastic, and Mush High Tech. The sponsors support me every year, the last couple of years. It's very good help for me. I translate in my head now. And thank you to CanAm, and I'm sure I come next year because I love the CanAm and I love the people here. And see you next year.
Not bad?
Thank you very much, everybody. Hey, let's do it again next year. We got the best organizations, Dennis said, I think, in Eastern North America. Dennis is going to close with a few words here.
Just quickly. If I can find a link. Just final comment on behalf of the CanAm board and the town of Fort Kent. I would like to say thank you for allowing us to become your friends and to share your canine companions with us year after year. We hope to see you all next year. Thank you, good night, and drive safely.
Mush to the finish line, run as fast as you can. Mush to the finish line, you warriors of CanAm. Cours jusqu'à la fin, cours avec le cœur plein. Cours jusqu'à la fin, les guerriers du CanAm. Mushing teams appreciate our famous hospitality, and when the sun comes up, the teams begin to meet. La rue principale est pleine pour autres, la belle neige d'un bout à l'autre, nos bénévoles sont tous à la poste. Challenge every year is to attract mushers far and near, qui viennent à Fort Kent pour la meilleure course. On to the Heritage Trail they go, to the forest trails and over the snow. En Wheelock Lake, on commence à sentir bien. Mush to the finish line, run as fast as you can. Mush to the finish line, you warriors of CanAm. Cours jusqu'à la fin, cours avec le cœur plein. Cours jusqu'à la fin, les guerriers du CanAm. Checkpoints are a must, les vétérinaires attendent les chiens pour toutes les vérifier encore une fois. Happy dogs are rare to go, mushers checking the feel of the snow, tout le monde a hâte à partir de l'eau. Mush to the finish line, run as fast as you can. Mush to the finish line, you warriors of CanAm. Cours jusqu'à la fin, cours avec le cœur plein. Cours jusqu'à la fin, les guerriers du... mushing teams appreciate our famous hospitality. And when the sun comes up, the teams begin to meet. Dari principali Prabruzo, la benneige d'un boutalo, nos bénévoles sont tout à la poste. Challenge every year is to attract mushers far and near, qui viennent à Port-Kent pour la meilleure course. On to the Heritage Trail they go, to the forest trails and over the snow. En Wheelock Lake, on commence à sentir bien. Mush to the finish line, running as fast as you can. Mush to the finish line, you warriors of CanAm. Cours jusqu'à la fin, cours avec le capitaine. Cours jusqu'à la fin, les guerriers du CanAm. Checkpoints are a must, les vétérinaires attendent les chiens pour toutes les vérifier encore une fois. Happy dogs are rare to go, mushers checking the feel of the snow, tout le monde a partir de nouveau. Mush to the finish line, run as fast as you can. Mush to the finish line.